Hello, everyone. It is 11 a.m. Central Time on Wednesday, the 13th of May. And there's been a lot of discussion about where is Humans First going to go next. And so I wanted to um, fulfill the announcement I made last week that plans have been in work for some time now. And this week we would be making some announcements. I wanted to launch into this while we've had discussions with many of our participants and people all over the world that have asked for this next step for Humans First. Where are we going to go? And I wanted to fulfill that announcement I made last week of stepping in and describing some of this to all of you so you could explore and find your place. Know that you're invited, which the Humans First Club has been the least exclusive club you'll ever join. We've had many free events. We've had events live in different cities that have been kind of self-supporting, so very little dollars just to offset the cost of putting on the event. There has been no transactions inside Humans First, and that has been kind of a staple in how we've built all this out, is a place for all of us to come together, find each other, discover, explore, invite others, and start shaping what does the future of business look like. The first mission with Humans First was to open hearts and multiply impact. Secondly, as we looked into business and the work that we're doing inside companies, it was to ignite and accelerate a shift in business culture to value humans first. We know that the path that we've been on is neither desirable nor sustainable. And the default has been to rely on the systems, the processes, the wonderful orchestration that we've built over the last 100 years that is no longer serving us. The element that's missing in digital transformation and moving forward and being creative, bringing ingenuity and innovation to business, helping companies and people thrive, is the focus on personal development. Personal development leading to corporate development, that we are more open-minded, that we're finding a success mindset that allows each person to show up, grow, discover, and behave in their most natural state. When we get the best of everybody operating together, companies naturally grow. So that's been the mission, and we've been on calls for over a year. We've been doing live events for a year and a half. And now we're going to move into a new phase of Humans First, and that's what I wanted to discuss with you today. So I'm just going to share my screen here and walk through this quickly with you. Share that. Here we go. So this next phase with Humans First, we're calling it Humans First Forward. And many have asked, how do we build this into a practice? How do we move forward? It's great that we're having these discussions. We're bringing up topics. We're finding like-minded and like-hearted people. And we're inviting in those that are just perhaps curious, and then even the naysayers. Now, how do we move forward and build this into practices? Well, while Humans First has been an everyone's game and remains an everyone's game, all are invited, you're welcome here, you belong. That will continue in the invite phase and the calls. That will continue with live events or virtual events that we'll continue to put on for free. So let me show you what that looks like, and then I'll jump in and get to the Humans First piece. With the invite strategy of Humans First, we've had community calls, we've had podcasts, we've had broadcasts, we've done some media collaborations to help bring this forward for everybody, to ignite and accelerate the individuals all over the world, many different continents, many countries, and in a very collaborative way. The calls have been, they started in the United States. Kevin Monroe has hosted the Humans First Hangout since March of last year. And then following the London event, a UK or EMEA call was kicked off that is based at noon Mondays, London time. That has started to build and accelerate. It's brought in people from all over the world, accessible at that time. And then it extended to a group of people that built out and started an Asia-based call, noon Singapore time on Fridays, late at night here in the United States. That group continues to grow and build and expand off of that. And then when we got into this current period of time, the COVID-19 lockdown, shelter in place, whatever term we like to use for that, we extended these calls and built a program where we would have them every day of the week just to bring people together to see how they're feeling. Now that we've settled into that rhythm a little bit, we're all kind of getting used to it. We've moved those calls just to Thursday additional call, which is done in partnership with Biz Catalyst 360 and the 360 Nation. We call it the Friendship Bench, and that takes place at noon on Thursdays. The Humans First Hangout is Friday at noon, Monday UK call, Friday Singapore time for the Asia call. Those will continue, and we'll continue to expand and bring in new ideas with that. But the podcast will continue to grow. We'll be doing more live broadcasts and media collaborations. The next piece we added was we'll continue also. So these are the continuation plans. The calls are the invite. Let's just find people, let them find us. And then we can discover together in live events, the retreats that were scheduled. We would have been there early in the month. Just last week, we would have been in the UK together at a beautiful place down in Dorset on the south coast at the Hethfelton House, which is a beautiful English manor. We had to postpone. It looks now likely we'll have to cancel, but that will be re-engaged hopefully in 2021. So while the live events have canceled, that is still part of the rhythm that we will reignite once we're able to. In the meantime, we came out with the first Humans First Rally Day. So building the community, building events online to get us through this time is what took place just last month. And in 60 days, there'll be another iteration of that. And in between, we're going to start building out some seminars and workshops that will be free, kind of light touch on the topics that our members will be bringing forward. And that gets us to this next phase. The new initiative will be to activate Humans First. And it's moving into a new area, and it's crossing a line that existed. So in those red circles, we'll see the invite and discover motions, the community calls, discover with the live events, the retreats, the virtual summits that we just started, and then we'll be building in the seminars and the workshops. The invite and discover is all about belonging. As we move into the activate phase, it's about creating. It's creating value. It's creating programs into companies. And at the center of all of that, you'll see a new word that's introduced, and that's love. Why is love sitting at the center, the intersection of these three circles? Because we know this. Fear and greed are prevalent drivers in our business climates, in our lives. And we see it all around us, and it's what our experience has been. And love is the only thing strong enough to play in the sandbox with fear and greed. And while fear and greed won't go away, the initiative is to bring love, bring that third party to the table. Fear and greed will be there, and we'll be there with love as well, and we'll bring better balance into how we approach our humanity into the workplace. A better approach on how we can show up and activate our lives to the benefit of others and make an impact in all the work that we do. These new programs in Activate will be introducing the Forward Consulting program. We'll have practice areas, market segmentation. We're going to do more promotion and workshops that will go deeper. They will be paid engagements that will be teaching and learning and adoption opportunities. We'll also focus on client segmentation and move this into what I'll call the Hollywood model, where groups of people that are in the activated base, self-chosen, they'll raise their hands, they'll join on their own. Those people will then be able to put together their teams to go activate into their client base. There'll be self-generating groups. And there will be no fee into Humans First. So it's not a holding tank. It's just a launch point to bring people together. The trick is, how do we move from invite and discover and keep those motions going, those free motions, those engagement, those for everybody motions? How do we keep those going and then move into this activate phase? Activate is not for everybody. Not everybody is going to want to be there. And we know this, that in traditional programs like this, we see it with everything. It's the model that's been there for many, many years. It's the certification programs. And here's how those work. You give me many thousands of dollars and I'll train you how to do something. And then you can get a pin or a badge or some letters after your name, and you can go out and you can bring those programs forward and be a lesser version of me or the program originator. It's something that I call the certification addiction. We've gone way too far down that path. And the value, I think, is depleted. One size fits all, one program where we're focused on regurgitating the program rather than meeting the needs of the recipients. So if that strikes a chord with you, perhaps I need to apologize here. But we can do better. And what I want to do is activate the programs that you're already bringing to the table to allow us to collaborate and build better programs based on your knowledge, based on your experience, based on your desire. It's a place where we can further discover, further explore, and create new. This is inventive. This is ingenuity. This is creativity. So we've gone from belonging now to creating with the Forward programs. As we launch this, you'll hear more, but we're going to start with 2 market segmentations. And that is simply personal development and corporate development. Because many of the people that participate in Humans First currently, that are now invited to explore jumping into the activate phase, which will not be a paid engagement. To get to activation, it will be an investment of contribution. You will be asked to commit to a series of events where you're promoting your programs, yourself, and doing it under the banner of Humans First. to bring your goodness forward, to let people know who you are, to brand yourself within and around Humans First, and give some of that away in the Discover area with those seminars and those workshops and contributions that many of you have already made. And so there will be a grandfather clause to that, but there will be no monetary investment. It's an investment of contribution to get into that group that will now look at personal development and corporate development programs. We can do further segmentation from there, but that is the core of the Activate program. And then when we pull the full picture together, we're pulling in the fourth ring, which will be to expand. Expand will be festivals, movement collaborations. I'm working on a documentary program right now. These are client celebrations, partnerships, change initiatives, things that we can do together. This is where we invent going from Activate into how do we expand this out to the broader audience. And then that becomes the advocation, becomes advocating back into the invite phase. That circular loop of engagement. Invite, discover will exist. Activate is new. Expand is next. That's what I wanted to share with you today on the Humans First Forward program. It's a step forward. We're going to be discussing it more, but it's now launched with this information that can be refreshed and revisited on YouTube. And I appreciate you joining. I'm going to close out this screen and stop sharing. I am available to all of you for questions. I'm available to have these discussions about how can you participate? What does it look like? While the Humans First motions will continue to exist, we'll now move into the opportunity to jump forward, answering the question and the urging that I've received. How do we move this forward? How do we move to the next phase and start bringing this goodness that you've already created, that we're exploring and creating together, into the corporate space to make an impact on so many more people and businesses and the world around us. I hope you have a fabulous day. Appreciate you jumping in, taking strides along the journey with me. I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you.